Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is Muhamad Safiruddin, Muhamad Sharif, and this is my college.
My name is Muhammad Amirul Ilham bin Sabaruddin.
Can you both tell us your name?
Yes, my name is Muhammad bin Hakim bin Zulmaizan.
And I am Muhammad Taufik Hakimi bin Muhammad Royani.
Okay, I will explain about the system. The system is regarding the S.E.G.A.K test. I hope you guys still remember that. Right now, we are facing a problems where students want a different value from what they get for each exercise. Intentionally, also since the S.E.G.A.K test still use paper to write down the score, we have an idea to digitalize this test.
So we already prepared the pseudocode and flowchart. I will explain the pseudocode and Safiruddin will explain the flowchart. Okay, for the pseudocode part, we start with the main function first. Of course, we need to initialize the variable first. Then, we ask the user to input the age. If possible, try using function. Then, if the user input the wrong value, ask them again by looping. Then, we check the age. If below 12, then the student is in primary education. Otherwise, the students are in secondary education. After that, ask the user to input the class name. We want the user to input as many students as they want. So, add looping again to get information for each student. Assign the value to default since the user will loop. Ask for the user's name. Change the user's name, all uppercase. Add the user's name to the list since we need to show all of the user's data. Then, get their IC number. Of course, check the IC and find their gender, states, and birth date. Now, get their height and weight. For all the exercise, using a loop is easier. Get the input from the user and then check the input too. After that, find the score using a function and add it to an array. Finally, calculate the total score. Get the grade, fitness status, and BMS status and add them to each array. From each fitness status category, increase the counter to classify the current student. Display all the information. Then ask the user if they want to add more students or not. But of course, we set the limit 200. We are afraid that if we add more than that, the system can add more data since we set the array size to 200. If the user didn't want to add more, then for the remaining part of the array, set it as empty string. Sort the array to, let's say, in ascending order. Display all the students with age information. Finally, display the counter for each fitness status category. Done. That's it. Just follow the pseudocode and inshallah you guys can do it. Now I will pass the Safiruddin to explain the flowchart.
Thank you, Amirul. Well, for flowchart, it is pretty much the same as pseudocode, but I will just explain it anyway. So we start with age, then check the age, get the class name, initialize variable, get the student's name, then get IC number. Check IC number, get all of the stuff of the IC number that Amirul mentioned before. Get height and weight. Check the value for both, of course. Calculate BMI. Get exercise score using loop. Then calculate the total score. Get grade, fitness status, and BMI status. Also increase the counter to classify students into each status category. Display students information as if the user wants to add more students for the remaining data in the names array at an empty string. Do the sorting in ascending order, of course. Display all of the students information. Done.
Okay, I understand what to do.
How about you, Encik Taufik? Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So how long can you finish this project?
Maybe around 1 week.
Okay, we'll meet again in 1 week. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
As we promised, you guys finished the program?
Alhamdulillah, we finished on time.
Good. Now show me.
Okay, first I'll explain the main function. Let's take a look at the library first. And then there's a global declaration, a bunch of them. Let's just skip to the main function. There are variable declarations, and then as you asked, we get age using function. Using looping too to check the input. There's a selection for age, and then getting class name using function too. Set the variable into default again for looping. Getting the student's name, getting IC number. There's checking for almost part. And then getting all the data needed from IC number. Now, we get the student's height and weight. And then, calculate the BMI. After that, get the input for every exercise. Checking the input too. Then, get the score using function. Calculate the total score. Get the grade, fitness status, and BMI status. Then, increase the counter by fitness status category. Display the student's information. And then, ask the user if they want to input more students or not, as long as it's not 200. After that, for the remaining spaces inside array names, we get set them as empty strings. Sort the array based on names. Display all of students. And finish. Now, I'll pass to Taufik.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, let's take a look at the getAge function first. We get the input in string data type and then return the number if it is a number. After evaluation from function is num. The next function is get the class. Same as before, the input data type is a string. After that, return the class name in uppercase. Using a function lettercase to uppercase the name. Next function is information1. It is pretty much to display. Same as function information2 and table. Okay, then the next function is lettercase. The function is to transform the text into uppercase, lowercase, camel case, and inverse camel case. Next is the function append. Its function is to add one string into another from an array. It is one of the hardest function to make. Then function string to float. The purpose of the function is to convert one data type into another. Same as function string to integer, integer to string, float to string, and char to string. Next, we look at the function center. Its function is to center the text within the given length. it also can show some kind of line too. After that is the function print center. Okay, basically it is mostly the same as the function center before, but in simpler form of small text. After that is function is gender. This function is to check whether the child is gender child or not. Next is function is num. Function that can check if the string is a number or not. It has two modes. The first is an integer and the second is a float. Next is score evaluation. This is the function that returns the score based on the S.E.G.A.K table. First it will search for exercise type and then gender, lastly by age. So in the selection, it will search for the score interval based on input and dimension, and then return as a score from 1 to 5. Next is function grade evaluation. It just return a child based on the score, and then it is the same as the fitness status evaluation function. It will return but in string form. And then function BMI calculation. The function will get the BMI status. It works just like the score interval function, and that's it. With a total of 20 functions we use it in this project.
Thank you, both of you. Can you show the results?
Yes. This is the result. First, it will ask to input the age. You can try inputting any data type as long as it's not an integer between 10 to 17. Then, it will keep asking to input it again. Let's say we input 17. The output we get is age, education, and class name. Then, you can add the class name. You can input any data type you want. Let's say I input Akliyah. Look at the class name, automatically uppercase. Now, add the student's name. It can take any data type too. And then, it will ask the IC number. Try ignoring the instruction and it will ask the user again. If you input the correct IC number, then it will extract the gender, birth date, and state. Then the system will ask the height, same as before. If we ignore the instruction, it will ask the user to input again. And then for a weight, same as the height. After that, it will ask for the first exercise. Follow the instructions as usual, and then input the second exercise. The third exercise. And the fourth. Now, we can see our data in this terminal. You can check the result. And then it will ask us if we want to add more data or not. If you want to add more data, then insert Y, like this. I'll try to insert new data. Then, we insert any value to stop. Now is the part where it will sort the name. Look, the name Amirul is above me, even though I add Amirul's name after my name first. Press any key to continue and look. This is the summary. So, it shows how many students based on category. And that's it. It's done.
Impressive. Let's proceed with that. Thank you, both of you. Your guys' work is well done.
Thank you Encik Safiruddin
Thank you
and
Encik
Encik
Safiruddin
Amirul.
and Encik Amirul.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.